Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back to CodeTav Management. Myself, CodeTav. So today we are tackling a very common roadblock in Spring Boot. What is that one? The unsatisfied dependency problem. You know, right? So specifically, what happens when Spring gets confused about which bin to inject? So in this video, we will cover mainly these three parts. The first one is why the no unique bin definition exception happens. Then second, how to fix it statically using the qualifier annotation. And third part, how to fix it dynamically at runtime using the value annotation combined with a map. So first, understand the problem. What is the unsatisfied dependency problem here? So to understand the problem, let's look at a standard scenario. Imagine we are building an e-commerce checkout system. We have a simple interface called the payment service and two classes that implement it. So one is credit card payment service, another is PayPal payment service. So just look at here. This is the payment service interface we have created. And now two classes, one is credit card payment service implements this, and second PayPal payment service implements this. So that is the clear thing. Up to that, it's very clear and clean. But now let's create a checkout service and ask Spring to inject our payment service using AutoWired. So now the actual crash happens. So if we run our Spring Boot application right now after creating this checkout service, so it will crash on startup. Why? We need to identify, right? So because Spring is looking at the payment service interface, then it will look at its application context, and it when it will see the application context, then it will see two eligible bins are there. One is credit card payment service, another one is PayPal payment service. So it doesn't know which one you want, so it throws a no unique bin definition exception. So this is the classic unsatisfied dependency problem actually. So now we are facing this problem. Now, as a developer, we need to fix this problem, right? So in the earlier lectures, I have discussed about the qualifier annotation, primary annotations, and now I hope you can connect those points. So your first approach should be how we can solve this with statically. So statically, we can solve it via qualifier annotation. So this is basically the straightforward way to solve this by holding Spring's hand and telling it exactly which bin to pick. So we do this using this qualifier annotation. So by default, Spring names your bins using the class name with the lowercase first letter. Okay, here you can see your PayPal payment service class name starts with the capital letter, and it's just convert the first letter to small. So P will be lowercase. Then it can identify that bin. So in that way, in the qualifier section, we have specified that PayPal payment service. So what it does, it strictly tells Spring that I need the PayPal payment service. So now there will be no confusion in front of Spring. So this works perfectly. The app boots up and PayPal is used. However, there is a catch. What is this? We are hard coding this thing. So this is also a bad practice. We have solved the problem, but this is the bad practice, right? So if you want to switch to the credit card service for a specific client or environment, then you have to open your code base and you need to change the qualifier string and recompile your application. Okay, so that is one pathetic situation. So what if we want to change the active bin dynamically without touching the Java code? So now we can use the application properties or application YAML where you are configuring the properties. We can use that one. So this is where the things get powerful. So we can use our application properties here to define which payment method we want to use. So read that property using the value annotation and dynamically select the bin at runtime. So to do this, we are going to leverage a really cool Spring Boot features. What is that one? The map injection. Okay, so if you auto-aware that map of string of interface, then Spring will automatically populate it with all the bins implementing that interface using the bin names as the map keys. Okay, so here just see the code. So here in the application properties, we have created the property as app.payment.default method. And here we are specifying the name like credit card payment service. If you want the PayPal payment service, you can obviously you can change that one to PayPal payment service. Okay, so now here what is happening? So here basically injecting all the available bins into a map. Then what we are doing through this value annotations, we are reading the desired bin name from the properties one here. From here we will get that one. So now our as we have specified as credit card payment service in our application properties, now your default payment method is credit card payment service. And now here what we are doing, here we are passing this default payment method. So here this credit card payment service will be passed. So dynamically it fetches the bin at runtime. So just look at how clean this is. We ask the Spring for a map of all the payment service implementations, and we use the value annotations to read the app.payment.default method from our properties file. And during the checkout method, we pull the correct bin out of the map using that property. So now if a client or anyone, if anyone will want to switch from this credit card payment service to PayPal payment service, you need not to touch your code base. You just open your application properties and you from this credit card payment service you need to change to PayPal payment service. That's a very cool thing. So here no code compilation will require. So this is a very true dynamic bin initialization approach. Okay. So in that way, you can solve the problem. So in quick way, I'm just discussing the things what I have discussed in the part one. I have discussed about the unsatisfied dependency problem. Next, I have discussed like how we have fixed this statically using the qualifier annotation. And at last, I have discussed like how you can use the dynamic initialization via value annotation. Okay, you with the help of map of bins. Okay, so this map injection is also a very important topic that also you have seen here. Earlier, I have already discussed about the how you do the injections and all, and here I have discussed this thing as well. So anyway, just if you found it helpful, then just hit the like button and subscribe more for more Spring Boot deep dives. Okay. And if you want the code base for that, I can attach in the description as well. And if you will do really like the like, subscribe and all, it will motivate me to create such more videos. Okay. So thanks everyone. Stay tuned until the next one.